How's it going, everybody? It's Josh again with your weekend inspiration. It is Friday, and I want to apologize. I'm running a little late getting this out here for you guys, but it has been a super busy day. Been a crazy Friday, but it's finally over, and here comes the weekend. So today, I want to talk to you guys about filling some holes. Let's fill some holes in your business, in your personal life, whatever it is. And one of the biggest things that we see, we work with a ton of agents across the country, and one of the things that we really like to do is find what hole we can fill in their business. We do a lot of stuff. And with that said, it's really hard for us to kind of present one thing. Now, some people know us as the guys that do the lead generation. Some people know us as the guys that, get your Facebook ads running. Some people know us as, the guys that dial up your CRM, and the list goes on. But we don't have a whole ton of people that know us for like everything we do. So it's really hard to portray that, seeing as how we do so much for our clients. So with that said, we will jump in with a client on a presentation, or, what I like to call it, just a free consultation, and go, let's find the holes in your business that we can fill. So that way you might be calling me and saying, hey, Josh, I just really need lead gen. We can go over every hole that we can find in your business, and come to find out there's usually 3 or 4 holes that need filling, and we are there to do that for you. So what I want to talk today about is going to be filling one of the holes that I see all the time in different business and in people's personal life. And it's what I like to call goals and tasks. They kind of go hand in hand. Now, there is a difference in my book, and the way I kind of perceive it is you have a task is like a small thing. And, it's something like, do my laundry, do the dishes, cook dinner, run my errands that I have to do, pay the bills, whatever. That's more of like a task. And a goal is something that I want to reach, I want to achieve. So with that said, the reason that's really important is, think about a day that, you had, say it was your day off and you've been working a whole bunch. You have a day off and you go, I can't just lay around all day like I want to and watch Netflix or something like that. Watch Josh's funny YouTube videos, whatever. I need to go do this. I need to go grocery shopping. I need to start laundry. I need to, pick up my dry cleaning or drop my dry cleaning off. I need to go, pay a couple of bills. I need to stop by the bank. I need to do this. I need to do this. And you have a whole day planned of just really running around and getting stuff done. Now, that is always annoying, and it's a bummer when that's, especially when you've been working a lot and it's your first day off and you got to go do all that. But think about when you get home and you finalized all those things and you go, wow, man, I did all of that. I got all the stuff done that I needed to go do. That feeling you have, it's like very positive, and you feel successful. You feel like you completed, everything that you needed to do that day, and it feels great. Everybody knows the feeling I'm talking about. So that's why I like tasks, is that they're achievable right then. They're achievable that day. They're achievable at the moment. All you have to do is go and get it. The only thing stopping you is error and opportunity. So that's tasks. Okay, but what they do is they set you on the path of that positivity and that accomplishment feeling that you have, to now kind of start knocking off tasks that go towards your goals. So we're setting tasks that are going to resonate with in our own mind, to create that positivity, to create that type of, really good feeling of accomplishment, and actually work in some tasks that will help us complete a goal. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say you're going to start small on this. You're going to set a task for yourself. I was talking to Brian earlier, and he was telling me about this motivational thing he used to watch that was like a military guy that says this is why he does his routine, and he makes his bed every morning. And the reason he does that is it's the very first thing of the day. He's out of bed, and, maybe he goes, takes a shower, does his workout, or whatever he does. But the very first thing he does when he gets out of bed is he creates a task, which is make the bed. Okay. And he completes it. And that sets his path of positivity for the day. And I really like that. I thought it was cool, because then that just led to the next one. And especially right now, with a lot of places being, locked down or quarantined, or, you can't really get out and interact with people. You can't really go do a lot. Setting those personal goals, and personal tasks that lead to those is really important. So you get up, you make your bed, and then it's like, hey, I gotta shower, I gotta hit my workout, and then move on to the next thing. Well, look, if you get up, you make your bed, then you go, you take your workout, you get that done, and then you take your shower. Well, you've already completed 3 tasks for the day and the day's just begun, guys. So it already gets you on that positive mindset of, look, what I've completed. So then we start throwing in some tasks in there that are more, business related or work related. So I'll use for an example, because we work with a lot of, real estate agents. I'm going to use that as an example. Is I will see a lot of real estate agents that are just like, man, I hate cold calling, or I hate calling my leads. I've got so much other stuff, or I've got this other thing I want to do. I want this, but they know they need to do it, right? So where that comes into effect with task versus goal is this. And we're going to do a whole course on this in our university on how you set this up, but it's really kind of cool. You set the task for yourself and make your task very, easy, attainable. Don't put it way out of there. Like, I'm going to make 100 dials today. Put it as something that you can do. Start out small. And then as you start to see yourself achieving that, go ahead and bump that number up. So I want to call my leads. Okay. I've got 100 leads in there, but I know for a fact, I'm not just going to jump in and learn how to swim right away. So I'm going to set my task as I'm going to make 20 calls today. Okay, now see what I did there? I didn't say I'm going to try to make 20 calls. I didn't say I'm going to do my best to make 20 calls. I'm going to make 20 calls today. Okay. And that already right there is setting up. Now, what I like to do is write it down so that I have something visible. And that really helps me. It also helps you not make an excuse like, oh, I forgot this one because I would just try to keep it all in my mind and write that list in my brain. Like, no, write it down and you'll see it really start to help. You can't see it because I got this cool background, but I have a little smaller whiteboard over here. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I have this whole thing as a huge whiteboard. I write things down all the time, but I have a smaller one over here with my own personal notes that has my tasks. And as soon as I complete them, I get up and I check that off. It's really, really nice. So when you go, hey, I'm going to complete 20 calls today. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make 20 calls today. And you get to get up and check that off. Boom, you are now on a way to your goal. So if you wrote down your goals and you say you were to write down, I want to sell 15 homes this year. Okay, say you're a newer agent and you're watching this and you go, I want to sell 15 homes this year. Okay, or do 15 transactions. You don't necessarily have to only work with buyers, but I want to do 15 transactions this year. Well, how many phone calls does it take for me to get one person that I can get into a buyer's agreement or get to have me list their house, start working that deal and start getting a conversion? Well, I have to make this many calls and do that math, write it out. And then you'll start to see where if you made 100 calls, you're going to get 5 people that you actually get to talk to. You're going to get one of those 5 that you might get into a buyer's agreement, or one of those 5 that you're going to get to let them, go, hey, I want you to be the person that lists my home. Okay. You're my seller's agent. Get it to done. But that took 100 dials, right? 100 dials to get to that. So if you look over at your list and you go, I'm starting to complete 20. And then you look right next to that is a list of your goals you want to accomplish. And right next to that, it says 15 home transactions. Well, look how many calls you got to make. And then you start to go, I can do this. I've been doing 20 on the course of this month, over the course of this many days, it's came out to this many dials, let's say over the course of 5 days, I've done 100 dials now. Well, I needed to do 100 dials to get one conversion. And now I've got that. And I did that in 5 days. Well, what happened if I did that 100 dials in one day? Well, I know I can't make that jump from 20 to 100. So let's set the goal and the task to be obtainable, because otherwise you're just letting yourself down. You're demoralizing yourself. Okay. So you want to set that task to be there for yourself that you can accomplish. 20 is not that hard at all, guys. I promise you. I do 100 calls a day. 20 dials is not that hard, but I didn't start out doing 100. I did this same thing. I started with 20. And once I started seeing myself average that, I started stepping that up. So that's where you can take your goals and your tasks. And the tasks are there because they're very accomplishable now. They're very oriented in going, hey, I'm going to get that positive mindset. I'm going to get that positive outlook, and I'm going to get that feel good feeling, of achievement, if you will, by completing these tasks. And as you start to see those tasks be completed, I guarantee you'll start to see those goals be completed. And that's a really, really cool thing. So that's one of the holes that we like to, jump in and fill. And it's all really just about mentality and going out there and getting it and putting it in writing, setting it out, there, hey, and I want to make sure that I really push home the fact that you want to write this down, because if you're just trying to keep it in your mind, that gives you ways that you can, create an excuse. You can start to, come down on yourself. You can, when you don't obtain those. So write it down and check it off, and do this with the tasks and the goals. Now, I'm not necessarily saying you got to get up and make your bed. I'm not saying you got to go work out. I'm saying whatever works for you, set those tasks so that you have something to complete. And you'll start to see that positive outlet coming in. And instead of saying, I'm going to try to do this, or I see myself trying to do this, or I'd like to see myself do this, I'm going to, I will. This is what I'm going to do. Man, I can't talk. Going to do. So, instead of putting those try, or I'm going to see if I can, or I'd really like to, or maybe I'll get to that, put that there. So here's for my personal one that I've done. I've set aside a goal for myself that in 2021, I'm going to actually purchase a home again. Now, I've been a homeowner before a couple of times over, and for, I'd say, maybe the last 12 years, I've been in a renter. Okay. I just haven't decided where I want to be. I haven't decided where I want to own a home. It's a very big decision, and it keeps you locked into a place. Was kind of my feeling for a long time. It's like, oh, if I buy a house here, I'm locked into here for this long. It's not necessarily. You're not necessarily locked into it. There's a lot of stuff you can do and still own that home in that area, and you can still go other places. So for me, I've kind of finally mentally come to that point where I want something again that's my house. It's mine. I can do what I want with it. If I want to tear that wall out, I'll tear that wall out. Okay. So I'm going to do that. That's my goal, is in 2021 is to purchase a home. And actually, I want to have it by my birthday, which is in June. And I want to try and get that done. So I set that task for myself probably in July. Right? It was right after my birthday I just had in July. I set that goal for myself. Now, I know it's attainable. It's not too far out there. That goal is not unattainable for anybody if you put your mind to it. So what do I have to do to reach that? Okay, so I set my tasks for what I need to do to reach this goal. And my tasks were very, very simple. I need to make sure that I'm paying off all the stuff that I don't really need, credit card debt, anything that I don't need to have there that's going to hinder my ability to, get a loan because of my debt to income ratio. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one was getting rid of the expenses that I don't need. Like, this is not a necessary expense. If I spend, let's say over the course of the month, I spend $200 on, going and having a beer with some of my friends on a Friday or something like that. I can get rid of that because it's not really necessary that I spend that amount of money in a month. So I can go, hey, if I cut that out for X amount of time and put that money away every time, well, now that's $200 a month that I'd be saving that I can put towards this down payment, because the next task is get the amount of money for the down payment for the home that I think I need. Now, I haven't actively started looking at homes. I haven't got to that point because I know I'm not ready because I haven't completed these tasks, but I'm putting away money now. The next task that I had was credit repair. I had basically no credit because I've never really used anything for credit. I had one little credit card that was still a starter credit card, like one of those $300 ones. And that's really all I ever had. And I didn't do anything with it. I didn't really understand how that worked. So I started researching how you can build credit and how that works, and how to, use a credit card, how to pay it off right, how to make your payments on everything on time, which is, obvious, but how to make it to where it helps raise your credit score. And how do I gain credit? Because that was the biggest problem on my credit score was, I didn't have anything on there. It's not that I necessarily had anything bad, but I didn't have anything good either. So I almost had no credit really. So that was my next task, and I'm completing that right now. My credit score has risen by 100 points, and I've got 40 more to go. I set myself a point where I wanted to be, where I knew I could qualify for, one, get pre-qualified for, something in my price range, and two, I wanted to make sure that, I could qualify for certain programs that help me get into a home, and, maybe like a down payment assistance or something. I looking into those. So those are all the tasks that I set. Now I know that if I complete all those tasks, the day I have all those tasks checked off, that guess what? That's now I'm ready to complete this goal. All I got to do is find the house. And we're ready to go because I have everything checked off. Now, those were longer term tasks and longer term goals, but every day I have, something I can check off that I'm going, or I can look at that's written off over here that shows me I'm on the path to completing those larger tasks that ultimately complete my larger goal. So that's kind of where I'm going with all of that, is that, write these things down. We see too many times that people are like, they'll talk to us in a consultation, they'll tell us they have a goal, or they have, that they want to reach, they want to obtain. And then, a few months down the road, we're talking to them again going, hey, how did you expect to reach that goal if you're not doing these tasks? And they go, yeah, I know, man, but this came up in life and other stuff in life. And then, well, you're never going to reach that goal, say, of, like, again, with our real estate agents, is you're never going to reach that goal of selling those 15 homes if you're not doing these other little tasks that reach that goal. So that's kind of my thing for today, is just going over your goals and your tasks and writing them out. Make yourself a little board, make the tasks very achievable, more instant gratification, if you will. Make the goals that are also obtainable. Don't put them too easy, but don't put them too high on yourself. And, start completing those, knocking those out, and watch the positivity and that sense of well-being that you get, of accomplishment, just take you over, and you will see a snowball effect of that, and it will ride into everything you're doing, whether you're doing this in your personal life, like I just explained, or whether you're doing it on your business side. Break those things down, and you will start to see successes everywhere across the board because of that positive feeling and because of that sense of accomplishment. This has been your weekend inspiration, you guys. I am out of here. We will see you guys on Tech Tuesday. Don't forget to check out that series, and all of our stuff is now going to be on our YouTube channel. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, do all that fun stuff. It'll really help us out with the channel. And we're really trying to, put together a platform where we can help other people grow channels as well. So we got to show that we can grow a channel. So do me a solid and do that stuff for me, okay? If there's anything you guys would like me to go over, always feel free to say it. And the final is, you can check out some of our other cool videos right here, right here, right here. And right up here is going to be the subscribe thing. So do it, click the button. Thank you. Have a good weekend, guys.